Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention?
I am that dude, Bodkins. Patty to patty. It's ridiculous. No way. There's nobody else out there. He's your guy. Give a big round of applause for the one and only Bodkin Show. I'm going to repeat that again, folks. I didn't stutter.
Repeat that again, folks. I didn't stutter.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another great episode of the Bodkin Show. I am your host, Bodkins, of course. Man, it has been a great NFL Sunday. It has been a wild Sunday. Some surprising wins, surprising points put up. Man, I don't know where to begin and where to start. Man, it was just, this is one of them Sundays where, by God, any given Sunday, anybody can win. Anything can happen. We're going to go ahead. We'll break down all the games. A guy who's got to be smiling ear to ear right now. His team put up 70. That's right. You heard me say 70. I told my wife, I said, man, the Dolphins are winning. She goes, what's the score? I said 70. They've scored 70 points. She said 70 fucking points? Jesus Christ. And I said, you kiss your mama with that mouth. But she kisses me with that mouth. And she's typically, I'm the sailor of the bunch. So when she cusses it, you know something shocking has happened. And putting up 70 in a football game is very shocking. So 70-20. And so this guy's got to be smiling ear to ear. Welcome to the show. You know who it is, my Puerto Rican brother, Johnny Cruz.
What's going on, bro? Shout out to Mrs. Bodkins. I'm glad she enjoyed hearing that surprise. Bro, that was like a college score, bro. Like that was insane to me, bro. I've never seen
the state of Colorado took two ass beatings back to back. Imagine if you're a Colorado Buffalo fan and a Broncos fan. Jesus,
I didn't even think about that.
That's the beating of a lifetime.
I made the comment to you guys, and I know that you know what I'm saying. I did pick the Broncos to cover.
Fucking cover. They covered that and then some, Johnny.
That was beyond cover. This was what I was worried about. It possibly being a trap game. They got to go to Buffalo next week, and this is, I guess this isn't the same old Dolphins, which is an awesome thing. But I expected a closer game than that. But I told you if Mike McDaniel gets a chance to blow him out, he's gonna blow them out. He's got a little bit of pettiness in him, and I love it. So last year when Sean Payton made the comment about Tua's probably going to get benched at some point for Teddy Bridgewater, I think Mike McDaniel took that to heart and made a statement. I love the fact that he went in the press conference and said, well, they didn't want to kick the field goal and break the record. He didn't, saying he wanted to respect them a little bit, saying, but bro, you just threw 70 on that kid, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So but no, it was exciting. It was fun. There were a lot of blowouts today, man. It was a weird day, man. There were only a few like really tight, good games. The other ones was just a bunch of ass whoopings, bro.
Yeah, there were some major ass whoopings. That was the ass whooping in the early game. We'll break down all these games. There were some shockers in the early games. The Texans beat the Jaguars. I didn't know this, Johnny. They said this during the telecast. The Texans have won 20 of the last 25, now 21 of the last 26 matchups against the Jaguars.
Wow. Yeah, I had no idea about that. I mean, I picked the Texans, honestly. I thought the Jaguars would win. I just thought the Texans would cover. But the Texans just beat the hell out of them in Jacksonville. And my supposed MVP candidate, Mr. Trevor Lawrence, looked like shit.
He has not played.
Yeah, nah, he hasn't played very well at all. Offensively, they're not playing very well at all. And they obviously can't play much defense either because Houston just lit them up. CJ looked good, man. CJ Stroud looked good. Shout out to the Just Fans guys, Carlos and Rios and Bobby. I know they happy. You know what I'm saying? The Texans got a nice, well-deserved win. Shout out to D'Amico Ryan.
First win
his first ever win. You know what I'm saying? So that was one of many surprises and one of many blowouts, bro. 37-17, I think that one was.
Yeah. Who would have thought?
Wild,
who had that on the bingo card? I mean, we'll talk about the Cowboys losing here later on. That was a surprise. But let's start with that beatdown that your boys gave the Broncos. I mean, they beat them like they stole something. I mean, and then some. I mean, I ain't seen a beating like that since Mike Tyson beat old boy in the first round that bad. This was a long, slow kill even. We'll start with the Broncos because it's going to take me all day to get to the Dolphins stats. But the Broncos stats, not a bad game for Russ. 23-38, 306 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. There was no running game just because they got down so big so early. Nobody had any running stats there for the Broncos. Cohen Sutton, I think it's supposed to be Cortland Sutton, obviously, but 8 receptions, 91 yards, 1 touchdown. Jerry Jeudy, nice game, 5 receptions, 81 yards. But other than that, let's get to your Dolphins. I mean, dear God, Tua, 23 of 30, 26 of 26. He was damn near perfect, Johnny. 309 yards, 4 touchdowns. Oh, by the way, they were up so big. Let Mike White fucking come in. He goes 2 for 2, 67 yards and a touchdown. Hey, remember this thing about you were like, hey, Mike McDaniel's going to run the ball more. He learned his lesson. You were fucking right, 1,001%. Devon Achane, you said it. You said it all year when they drafted him. You really liked the kid. You killed it. He killed it here. My dumb ass had him on my fantasy bench, but he went for 18 carries, 203 yards, 2 touchdowns today. Oh, and top
had him on the bench, bro.
I had him on the bench. I mean, this guy scored 60 fucking points fantasy wise. And Raheem Mostert, 13 carries, 82 yards, 3 touchdowns. In case you wanted to see get him in the back. Hell, they even got Chris Brooks, a guy I never even fucking heard of. He got 9 carries for 66 yards. Tyreek Hill, maybe nobody can still cover him. 9 receptions, 157 yards, 1 touchdown. Moser had 7 receptions, 6 yards and a touchdown. Achane, 4 receptions, 30 yards and 2 touchdowns. Tua is out there doing behind the back passes, no look passes with his right fucking hand. That's how easy it was for the Dolphins today. I mean, the Broncos absolutely stink, Johnny. I don't know whose problem this is. I don't know whether it's McVay. I don't know, or not McVay, Peyton. I don't know if it's Russ. That defense is atrocious. That defense was their golden point last year, was really good last year. And this year, it absolutely stinks. It's awful. Yeah. The Broncos.
Yeah, all the talk was about they just need a quarterback. They had everything else they needed except for the quarterback. And then, last year they get Russ. And it didn't work out last year. They want to blame it on the coaching. They got themselves a Super Bowl head coach now, and the defense fell apart. But like I said, I made a comment earlier that Mike McDaniel has a little petty in him. And if he had the opportunity to run up the score, he was going to run up the score. You saw, like you mentioned, the no-look pass. Like he brought some stuff out, and I've been telling people, he made a comment that he hasn't even begun to like really get deep into his playbook. So it's only going to get that much better for the Dolphins as they get more familiar, more comfortable in this offense. So I love Mike McDaniel. I love his swag. I love his attitude. I love his offense ability. It wasn't the Denver Broncos, though. You know what I'm saying? We got to go up to Buffalo this next coming week, so that'll be a good test there. But yeah, that was like an old school. You know what I'm saying? That was like a college. That was one of those. Somebody tweeted it out, and I'm sorry that I can't remember right now, but basically said that was one of when one of the Power 5 schools pays one of the smaller schools, a couple $1 million to come up there to their house and get beat down by 70-20. Yeah, and that's what happened there.
That's like Appalachian University Tech going to Alabama or some shit like that. Right. A Rec Room has a good point. McDaniel was pissed kid with an Xbox controller in his hand today. The problem is,
you know whose name you didn't even mention there? No Jalen Waddle today.
Yeah, no Jalen Waddle. I forgot McDaniel was the ball boy at one time in Denver. I don't know if you so maybe he was just taking some. I used to be the fucking ball boy. Everybody used to make fun of me out there in Denver. They had 2 earrings on and shit. I mean, they absolutely, that was a bloodbath. I mean, that was hey, stop the count, like pull the control. You know what I mean? Like you could have turned that game off at halftime. It was bad.
Yeah, it was definitely, like I said, as a Dolphin fan, it was definitely a lot of fun to watch. Again, Devon A-Chain, 18 for 203 and 2 touchdowns, and then he caught 2 touchdowns as well.
They were just having fun out there.
Yes, they were. This team seems to, say that they're gelling. So there's a lot of good chemistry there. And they're having fun, man. Like I said, I know a lot of people always Denver. You know what? You can only play who's in front of you, and not only did they beat them at home, but they destroyed them.
We say that, but this is any given. So we just watched the Cowboys lose to the Cardinals. The Cardinals are supposed to be one of the worst teams in the fucking league. Like they're supposed to be going to get Caleb Williams this year, right? Like they're trying to tank, and they just beat the Cowboys. Like. Right. The Texans, number 2 overall last year, just beat the Jaguars, a playoff team. So, like, it's all equal, folks. Like, I hate this simple fact, like, this team, you know what I mean? They beat the shit out of them, and that's an NFL fucking team over. Those guys, those coaches and those players are getting paid a lot of money, too, and they just might as well have stayed back in Denver because, Miami put it on them. It's 3 weeks. It's still early, but you know me. I like to overreact about everything. And there's still a team in Kansas City, but by God, Miami looks at 3 weeks, all 3 weeks, collectively the best team in the NFL right now.
Yeah, offensively they look really good. Defensively, they're starting to get stuff together, starting to get used to Fangio's defense. Excuse me. I'm with you though. I'm still gonna say that Tanner mentioned it in our thread earlier. It's still Kansas City. Saying they're the defending champs, so you still got to give it to them, but. Miami's definitely off to a good start, 3-0, and the offense looks like it's it's getting going. If we can continue to run the ball, I made the comment to you guys before the season. If we keep Tua clean and healthy and upright, I think the Dolphins go to the Super Bowl. You guys, you guys push me to it. They definitely going to be at least close to the title game, in my opinion, if Tua stays healthy. So. They're off to a good start, man. 3-0, and we got to go up to Buffalo this coming week. So that's going to be a good matchup because Buffalo's playing well as playing pretty good football as well.
Rec Room says that was like watching their dad get his ass kicked. Exactly. I mean it was a beat down by all proportions. I really do think, to me, Miami looks like the best team in this league right now, just with their defense, their offense. I can't wait. I hope we do see. I don't know if Kansas City's on their schedule. You would know more than I would.
We played them, but we played them in Germany. That's the Germany game.
Oh, okay. So that's them Germany games. I mean them German fans are in for a real fucking treat.
Yes, that should be a really good one. Tyreek Hill made a comment about 2,000 yards, and I know a lot of people probably laughed about it, but you can't cover him, bro. And it don't matter who's throwing him the ball, whatever. You can't. He's always going to find a way to get open. Him and Tua's chemistry is getting that much better.
And McDaniel's finding ways to get him open too.
Yes, and he like I said, he mentioned that he hasn't even gotten close to into his playbook. So there's a lot more in there. So I'm excited to see what's in store for the Dolphins going forward.
They might have the fastest team in the NFL.
No doubt.
If they have Tyreek, Waddle, Mostert, A-Chain, they might have the fastest team. It's a track meet out there.
Yeah. There's no doubt they're the fastest team in the league. No doubt. Yeah, they're a bunch of 4.3s, and Tyreek's a low 4.3. Devon A-Chain's a low 4.3. Mostert's a track star as well. So yeah, we got a bunch of speed out there, and that's what Mike McDaniel wanted. He was super excited to get A-Chain in the draft, and there was some mention, maybe he's a little bit too small. Nah, man, he's got a real strong lower body. He carried the ball 30-something times against LSU in the SEC, so he can handle it, and if they can stay healthy. I'm saying this is going to be a fun season. Well,
Keith, I mean, it is a shame they extend the season past 3 games. That way your Patriots can at least get maybe at least one more win today. They barely beat the lowly fucking Jets. So, Keith, could you speaking of Keith, could you tell your buddy, your nursing home partner, Scott, to pay his electric bill? Scott couldn't join us tonight because he said his electric shut off. I think he betted all the whole electric bill money on the Cowboys today. So there's that. So I think he lost it all.
Not for nothing, and shout out to Scott. He, you know, what I'm saying, I took his advice. He gave some tips this morning, some betting tips. And I hit a nice little parlay there. So thank you, Scott, for that. Let me know if you need a few bucks for your electric bill, bro.
The good news for the Broncos is they got the Bears next week, so we'll have a toilet bowl game. I'm surprised that's not the Thursday night game, to be honest, because that's just the way the world works. But it's not. But let's get into the next game, Johnny. I like to call this game the dumbass game, the dumbass bowl. Who is going to be the bigger dumbass, Kirk Cousins or Staley of the Chargers, coach? Chargers barely pull this one out, 28-24. Staley about cost his team. It was on their side of the field. He goes for it on fourth down. Guess what? They don't get it. Kurt drives his team down. They have like about a minute left, maybe 40, maybe a little bit longer. Kurt throws a dart. It takes him 45 seconds. I don't know why they just didn't clock it, but he takes 45 seconds to run one fucking play. It bounces off of Hawkinson's hand. Interception seals the deal. So in reality, I guess Kirk Cousins lost the dumbass bowl, and the Chargers get their first win. They was 28-24, and just a low score. We all thought this game was going to be a high scoring. It did not. One thing we didn't get right today was Joshua Kelly in fantasy. Sorry, folks, if we all told you to play Kelly and you played him like me. He absolutely did jack shit. 11 carries for 12 yards. Justin Herbert, though, nice game. 40 of 47, 405 yards, 3 touchdowns. Keenan Allen, 18 receptions, 215 yards. Mike Williams got hurt in this game, but he made his impact available still. He had 7 receptions, 121 yards, 1 touchdown. Joshua Palmer, 4 receptions, 66 yards, and a touchdown. So that was kind of the stats for them. You get to the Vikings here. Kirk Cousins, 367 yards, the 3 touchdowns, but the 1 interception. It should have been caught by Hawkinson, but it wasn't. Bounced off his hand on a tip drill. Alexander Madison, welcome to the show, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Finally maybe that's what he needed. He needed some competition. So decided, hey, I got to ball out since I actually have some backup here. 20 carries for 93 yards. Justin Jefferson, there's a scary moment in this game, Johnny, where he went down when they found out it was cramps. Luckily it was cramps because you don't want – we've already had a slew of bad injuries. Last thing you want is him to go down, but 7 receptions, 149 yards, and 1 touchdown. TJ Hawkinson, 8 for 78 and needed to have 9 and couldn't do it. Jordan Addison, 6 for 52. Nice game for him. But nonetheless, your thoughts here on Chargers and the Vikings in what I like to call the dumbass game.
Yeah, I mean, it was, talk about getting bailed out there at the last second by the defense. I don't know what Minnesota, we texted back and forth while it was happening. Like, how do you not stop the clock right there when you got down to like the 4 or 5 yard line? And they had like 30 something seconds, and they just let it tick. They let the clock run. It seemed like they were kind of rushing to get into that play. Like, that's the game right there. Clock the ball. Settle yourself, get into a huddle, come up with a good play. They just kept it going. It seemed like they were rushed. He should have made the catch.
Yeah.
He should have made the catch. And it was a tip drill.
See, Keith, thanks a lot.
And it just happened that way or whatever. So it's unfortunate, as far as Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings, but Justin Herbert, shout out to him. That was a great game. Only 7 incompletions, 405 yards, 3 touchdowns. It seems like everybody put up stats except for Kelly. So apologies to all the people that we gave fantasy advice this morning, because we gave you guys the wrong one there. But everybody else put up great numbers. Shout out to Rob Logan. I'll be doing the post game show with him later on after this Pittsburgh Raiders game. He's a Charger fan. I thought Staley was like gonna get fired after this game, bro. When he went for it from his own 35-yard line, I was like, bro, that's a fireable offense right there, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then he got bailed out by Kirk Cousins, who Scott made a comment. He puts up a lot of great numbers, but he doesn't come through in the clutch. Even though, again, you said it should have been caught, but at the same time, he should have been experienced enough to stop the clock right there. And
should have clocked it. They should have got they got the first down. Go up and clock it. You still got 3 more chances to get in the end zone.
Absolutely. I'm with you 100% on that one. So that was it was a crazy game going back and forth, you know what I'm saying? But I'm happy for Rob. I guess it's a bittersweet win for Rob because Rob wants Staley fired, something fierce. But, you know, saying he's going to have to deal with him for another couple weeks at least.
Here's the thing in Minnesota. This dates back to last year. I said didn't I tell you all last year, hey, Minnesota's got a horseshoe up their ass. They got a horseshoe up their ass. 10 wins by one score less. This year, 0-3 in those one-score games. Sometimes this fucking thing bounces your way. Right. And last year, it bounced. All the bounces went Minnesota's way. This year, guess what's happening? The ball is bouncing the other way. So it's that's what happens.
Well, I mean, and like you said, the horseshoe fell out of their ass. I mean, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? The ball bounced, like you said, their way all year last year. And it ain't happening for them so far this year. 0-3. Luckily, they're in that division. You know what I'm saying? The NFC North. But again, you know what I'm saying? I like, you know what I'm saying? We'll talk about them, I'm sure, in a little bit. But your team, you know what I'm saying, with a nice comeback there. Detroit made a little bit of a statement, in my opinion, with what they did to Atlanta.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting in that division, man. But I mean, again, it's 0-3. I don't know what the exact record is for 0-3 teams to make the playoffs, or if it's even ever happened.
I don't think it's. I don't know if it's ever happened. If it is, it's got to be very minimal, right? Like maybe 1 to 2 teams.
Yeah. But I'm grateful that Justin Jefferson is all right because that was scary there for a second. You know what I'm saying? Derek Carr hurt himself. So I mean, you hate to see injuries. So I'm glad JJ is good. 0-3. How long before he's asking out of Minnesota?
Oh, Justin Jefferson. They're working on.
He doesn't seem like that type of dude. But I mean, he eventually he's gonna get tired of losing. And I know they got lucky last year. They won last year. They made it to the playoffs, even though they lost in the first round against the Giants. But I believe this is Kirk Cousins' last year under contract.
Yeah,
so
it's last year guaranteed money. Yeah,
right. So let's see what happens there. But good win for the Chargers. They definitely needed that. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, dude, I thought I thought they were gonna make Staley walk home from Minnesota, bro. If they would have lost that game on that shit, bro, I'm firing him right then and there.
Yeah, you don't even ride the plane ride home.
No.
Like I'm calling it. I'm literally calling if Minnesota scores a touchdown. And we lose that. I'm literally calling down to the fucking phone, his cell phone, before he even gets off the field. Just say, "Hey, fucker, you're fired." Like,
right?
Just
find your own way. Find your own way home.
Yeah,
your shit will be out on the yard. You know what I'm saying when you get there, bro.
Yeah, like I mean, for real. Johnny, you mentioned the Detroit Lions. It was a bounce back game for them. This might have been. I mean, they looked good opening day, but they looked good here. They handled business 20-6 against the Falcons. Let's get into some of these stats here. Desmond Ridder, just a pedestrian game, 21-38, 201 yards. The Lions did an excellent job here in the running, stopping the run. That we know that's what the Falcons want to do. 10 carries for 33 for Bijan. Tyler Algier only 7-12. If Atlanta, that's how you have to beat Atlanta. Stop the run. I mean, they held their two under 50 yards rushing, or just at 50 yards, I guess, close. Well, I guess it was 45. So under 50 yards rushing with those two guys combined. Kyle Pitts, welcome to the league. Welcome to the season. 5 receptions today for 41. Drake London only 2 for 31. And then you get to the Lions. Jared Goff, 22-33, 243 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Jahmyr Gibbs, we did have that one right. 17 carries, 80 yards. And his full length back. So battle the first round running backs. He wins. Nod goes to him. Amon St. Brown, 9 receptions, 102 yards. Sam Laporta, 84 yards and 1 touchdown. He looks like, I mean, they are finding Sam Laporta. He looks like the real deal. Thoughts here on this game here, the Falcons and the Lions. Falcons now first loss of the season, and Lions now 2-1.
Shout out to Dan Campbell and his Detroit Lions. I mean, it ended 20-6, but it wasn't even that close. Detroit honestly dominated that game for the most part. And you said it. They stopped Atlanta's run, and Desmond Ridder couldn't do anything. Last week, he had a really nice game. He was able to kind of do some more play action last week because they were able to run the ball, successfully last week. But I think the questions got answered right there. You stop Atlanta's run, and you put it all on his shoulders. He wasn't able to come through in this game. And Jared Goff, you're saying, for all the criticism that he gets, he makes the plays when they need him. Amon St. Brown is a freaking stud. I love that kid. I'm so pissed off I couldn't get him in my fantasy draft. I so wanted him, and somebody snagged him right before me. And like you said, Sam Laporta seems to be a good player. Shout out to Tanner. I know Tanner's a big fan of Sam Laporta. He looks like a good player, man. That offensive line of Detroit and that defensive line is getting better. So they're always going to be in games, in my opinion. So this was a nice, this was a nice win. They defended their home turf against an undefeated Atlanta team. They put it on them. So shout out to Dan Campbell and his Detroit Lions. They're 2-1, tied for first place, I believe, in the division. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens going forward. I still think Atlanta's a fairly good team, but Desmond Ridder, man, when they needed him to make a play, he was 21 of 38, 201. They couldn't, like you said, they couldn't run the ball. Once they couldn't run the ball, that was pretty much it, bro. It was over.
Yeah, and shout out to the Lions defense and a big bounce back win. These are the type of the games, if you're a Detroit fan, you have to win and you want to see your team blow these teams out because this is a team that's projected to make a run in the playoffs, projected to win the division, predicted by many people, including myself and you, I believe. So, there's that. So Alan says 6 teams went from 0-3 to the playoffs, and 2018 Texans were the last team to do it. So
thank you, Alan, Mr. Statman. He's always finding that for us. Appreciate you, Alan. I know you're probably emotional right now, but it's okay, man. You weren't going to go undefeated, bro.
Yeah. You mentioned the Lions are tied for first. They're tied with first with my Packers, and they'll meet on Thursday night. Johnny, this game was a game where you said you could shut your game off at the first half. I shut this game off in the first fucking half because we were down 17-0 and just started watching the red zone. I just said, I'm fucking done here. My wife left to go take a nap. I was going to continue to watch the red zone. We were both done watching the Packers get their ass beat because the offense looked fucking abysmal. So many penalties. We looked like hammered dog shit. I was like, well, that was a good season. I'm pretty much writing everything off because me, I like to overreact. That's just what I do. And then next thing you know, Derek Carr gets hurt. But first, I want to correct something here. After this win that we just got, too many people. Wow, you guys beat the Saints. You guys were going to lose if Derek Carr didn't get hurt. Well, they only scored 10 points when Derek Carr was in there. So I don't want to hear that bullshit either. Simple fact is we came back and won the fucking game. All right. Jordan Love played a lot better in the second half, made some incredible throws, made some good runs with his feet. And we scored all 18 points in the fourth quarter. They missed a game go-ahead field goal with about a minute left. We kneeled it. I would have liked to kind of see if they would have made it, how we would have handled that because we missed it last week. Could we have come back and do it? Could we have learned from our mistakes and done it this week? Well, no need. But Packers get the big-time win and face the Lions. We did not look good at all. But I'll take any victory that you can get because wins are hard to come by. Even a pretty good against a decent team against the Saints. I actually, me and Jonathan have a bet on Monday. I would have to wear a Saints shirt.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Saints seeing who that going to beat the Saints. I had the fucking shirt in my fucking Amazon cart. Was ready to buy it about at halftime. I was like, well, I better fucking order this shirt now. Luckily, I didn't order it yet, and came back and won the game. So I told we'd give Jonathan a not this Monday because it takes time to buy shit, but after that for the next 2 Mondays. He's going to have to say, go, Pack, go, and wear some Packers. Let's get into the stats. Derek Carr did get hurt. Torn, it looks like something with his shoulder.
I think he strained his shoulder or something like that. He didn't tear – supposedly he didn't tear nothing, so it's nothing serious yet. From what I've
miss
heard.
some time, though.
He could miss a little time. But it's not season ending, which they were worried about at first. So
yeah. Derek Carr, 13 to 18, 103 yards, 1 touchdown. Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston had the same stat line minus a touchdown as Derek Carr, and everybody's pumping. Well, if Derek Carr would have stayed in the game, you got to listen to us.
You know what? He didn't stay in the game, and the Packers won. You know what I'm saying? Just like you'll say with the Dolphins shit. Oh, well, they were playing the Broncos. It doesn't matter. It happened. It's you know what I'm saying. A win is a win is a win, and the Packers won the fucking game.
Their stat line is the same, Johnny. Jameis Winston's 10 of 16 for 101 yards. The only thing he didn't do is score a touchdown. That's the only thing different. Their stat line's the exact same. 13 to 18, 10 to 16, 103 yards, 101 yards. So really, what did Derek Carr really fucking do, y'all?
Right. And Jameis Winston actually put them in a position to win the game, and they missed a field goal.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying?
And really,
it is what it is.
The lone touchdown the Saints got on offense was because we gave them a short field because we went for it on 4th down and didn't get it.
Right.
So then they went down and scored a touchdown.
Yep.
So don't give me that shit, Tanner, about how we beat Derek because we would have only won the game because Derek Carr got out. So fuck that.
Yeah, no. A win is a win is a win. And like you said, you'll take any win you got. Shout out to your coach. Talk about a sack on him going for 2 because I ain't gonna front. I was like, what the hell are you doing? Yes, I was like, take the damn extra point. Stop trying to be smarter than everybody else. You know what? Shout out to them. And your boy Dobbs. I'm a fan of his. He looks like he's gonna be a really nice receiver there for you. Nice and young, got some good size, got some big hands on him.
Too, yeah.
So and Jordan Love's only gonna grow with them, bro. So they're only gonna get better, bro.
I thought the same thing. I'm glad you mentioned that because we went for 2. I said, "What the fuck are we doing? Like what?" We better hope we get this because I'm gonna lose my fucking mind if we don't get this. And sure enough, we pick it up and we get it. Chris Olave, nice game, still 8 receptions, 104 yards. Not much in the running game for the Saints, and then we get to the Packers here. Jordan Love, a pedestrian, decent game, 22 of 44, 259 yards. 1 touchdown, did throw the 1 interception. I just felt like he was like, fuck it, I'm throwing this one deep, and it was intercepted. He had 9 carries for 39 yards, 1 touchdown. A.J. Dillon still nowhere to be seen, 11 carries for 33. He freaking sucks. You mentioned Romeo Doubs, 5 receptions for 73 yards, 1 touchdown. Jaden Reed, he had some nice catches in this game, 3 receptions for 63. Luke Musgrave is absolute fine, too, 6 receptions, 49 yards. For the Packers. You got anything else to say about this game here, Johnny?
Nah, like I told you from before the season, I'm a Jordan Love fan. I think he's going to be better than what most people were thinking, including Tanner. I know Tanner is hating on Jordan Love. Again, I don't know that he's, I'm not saying he's going to be Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre, but I think you're going to enjoy him. He's a good player. He's only going to get better. There were a lot of drops. You know what I'm saying? So if guys make a couple plays for him, his stat line doesn't look as bad. But you know what? He did what he had to do at the end of the game to bring the team back. So that's a good win. He got his first win in his first start at home in front of the faithful there in Lambeau. So big win for him. Hopefully Derek Carr's okay. He ain't out for too long. Yeah, I like the 2 tight ends that you guys draft. I like again. There was a lot of talk about your receiving core. They're young. They're gonna get better. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's a good future for your Green Bay quarterback and your team going forward. But shout out to your coach, like I said, for having that. That's because I was like, I was with you. I was like, what the hell are you doing, bro? Just kick the extra point. Stop trying to be too smart again with the analytics. But you know what? It wound up working for them. And that was a great, Jordan Love with that running play where he tiptoed down the sideline was huge. And then the touchdown to Dobbs was just a great, grab by him. So it was, that was one of the more exciting games today. You know what I'm saying? Because there were so many blowouts. This one was actually close. It was a blowout a bit in the first half, but it was exciting down down the stretch there. So, this was one of only a few games that was actually kind of close.
It was, and we'll take it. Let's get into the next one. The surprise game of one of the surprises is that the beat down the Texans 37-17. I mean, where are the Jacksonville Jaguars now falling to 1-2? The Texans are 1-2. I mean, the CJ Stroud folks, for all what you want to shit on the Ohio State quarterbacks like everybody has, CJ Stroud's a dude. 20 and 30, 280 yards, 2 touchdowns. Dameon Pierce, 14 carries for 31 yards and a touchdown. Tank Dell, 5 receptions, 145 yards, 1 touchdown. If you already don't have Tank Dell on your fantasy, go get him. He's got a shit ton of targets. He is out here catching balls left and right. We heard about him from the Just Fans guys. They said early on that they pretty much told Tank stop and slow down because you're making our defense look bad in preseason and in training camp. So there's that. Robert Woods, 3 carries for 34 yards as well. John Mechie, the 2 receptions. You get over to the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence did not look good. 27 of 40, only 279 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 reception. Travis Etienne, 19 carries, 88 yards. Evan Ingram, 7 receptions, 67 yards. Christian Kirk, 4 for 54, 1 touchdown. This was probably, if I rank the surprises of the day, this might be number 3, and we'll get to the Colts Baltimore game, and then the Cowboys game here in a minute. But those, to me, the 3 surprises of the day.
Yeah, I'm right there with you on that one. Again, I picked Trevor Lawrence to as my MVP candidate for this season, and he's not playing like that at all. The Jacksonville team, that's an embarrassment, bro. You're at home. You need to win these games. You gave that great stat about this is 21 out of 26 that Houston's beaten Jacksonville. So that is not a good stat there. Shout out to CJ Stroud, and like I said, to the Just Fans guys. He was my number 1 quarterback in this draft. I've been saying it since the draft. So I think they got a good one there. The wide receiver Dell seems like he's going to be a baller. They still got Dameon Pierce at right. So they got some pieces that they're putting together. Again, shout out to D'Amico Ryans getting his first win. And not only did they win their game, but they beat the shit out of Jacksonville in Jacksonville. So it was definitely a surprise. I picked Houston to cover. I didn't think they were going to stomp Jacksonville like they did, but
they covered it.
Trevor Lawrence is definitely a turd candidate for today, but he ain't my turd of the day. But he was definitely in the top 3. I think we gave him with the turd. I don't know if you gave him somebody. I gave it to him last week. You know what I'm saying? So he almost got it 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
It could just be my bias too, because I thought he was going to be a lot better than this, and he's just frustrating me, to death. But I expected more from Jacksonville. I expected Houston to compete with them, but they put it on them, man. And I did not know about that stat. 20 out of 25, or I probably would have added them, to the betting line today for sure, man.
Yeah. I want to back up. Speaking of stats here, I went to read this off. Shout out to the guy, the mock draft guy on Twitter. If you don't follow him, I follow me. He posts a lot of good stuff. But back to that Dolphins. This is how ridiculous the Dolphins were today. 70 points, second most in NFL history. 726 total yards, most in NFL history. Tua, 23th. We read off his stat line. Hill, not Mostert. We read up Mostert and Achane are the first running backs to score 4 touchdowns in a game in NFL history. So,
and between the 3 of them, Achane, Raheem Mostert, and Tyreek Hill, 9 touchdowns for the 3 of them combined. That was incredible, man. Like I said, and if McDaniel wanted to do it, because they were right there in field goal range to go ahead and break the all-time scoring record, because I believe it's 72. They could have won it with 73, but he said he didn't want to. That would have been bad karma there. So I like his thinking, because I believe in karma too. So saying that the 70 was enough. I think the 70 was enough.
Yeah. Let's get into. Not really a surprise that the Browns won. They were favored to win. But man, they demolished our friend Sam's Mr. First Down's Titans 27-3. It seems like when Ryan Tannehill plays like shit, the Titans play like shit. And their offense was absolutely abysmal. I mean, we had Big Mike on the show this morning. We talked about how good that Browns defense was, and they absolutely showed out. Ryan Tannehill, 13-25, 104 yards, absolutely dog shit. Derrick Henry, where was he? 11 carries for only 20 yards. DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, there was just no offense to even speak of. I'm not even going to get into the offense, the rest of the Titans offense. It was just this might have been Deshaun Watson's best game as a Cleveland Brown. 27-33, 289 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jerome Ford, 10 carries for 18 yards and a touchdown. Kareem Hunt, 5 carries for 13 yards. You get into the receiving. Amari Cooper continues to impress. 7 receptions, 116 yards, 1 touchdown. 9 receptions for a lot more. We talked about them. Hey, we talked about it on this morning show with Big Mike. Like, hey, without Hunt or without Chubb, are they going to throw the ball a lot more? And can Watson deliver? Check today. It looks like to me, Johnny.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt, it was definitely Deshaun's best game as a Cleveland Brown. The big thing there too is no interceptions. The 2 touchdowns, like you said, he used his legs a couple of times in key moments. But yeah, they completely suffocated the Titans on defense. Derrick Henry, like you mentioned, 11 carries for 20 yards. If Ryan Tannehill ain't got a running game, he is complete garbage. And it showed again today. So shout out to Big Mike, shout out to Bobby G. I know they're both happy as hell today with their Cleveland Browns getting a much needed win right there after the performance that they put on last week. But they absolutely stomped Tennessee. I picked Cleveland to win the game. I didn't think they would destroy them like that. But again, it was a tale of a lot of blowouts today, man.
Yeah, it was. That's to me the Bengals got to pray that Joe Burrow plays tomorrow. There's reports that maybe he's going to go on the IR, but it also reports like he's day-to-day. So who knows? But if they go 0-3, everybody else in that division's 2-1. We'll talk about the Ravens game here in just a minute as well. But the Browns look really good. The Steelers are up 10-7 right now. Still a lot of game left, but we'll have to see how those 2 games go going forward.
Yeah, but and like we mentioned earlier this morning, you know what I'm saying, that Stefanski needed to open up the playbook, let Deshaun Watson throw the ball down the field. Like you mentioned, Amari Cooper with a nice game today. They let Deshaun Watson throw the ball down the field, which is what they need to do, especially now with no Nick Chubb. Kareem Hunt, it's going to take him a couple games to get into football shape, but Ford held it down. Played pretty well. You know what I'm saying? Again, we said Amari Cooper. I love the trade that they made for Elijah Moore. I think he complements Amari Cooper very well. You got Donovan Peoples-Jones there as well. So you got those 2 big bodies, and then you got Elijah Moore who can run the slot. He can play he can probably play all 3 wide receiver positions. But I've always liked Elijah Moore. He just had to get the hell out of New York
and get healthy.
And get healthy, yeah, of course. But yeah, Stefanski did what he needed to do. And kind of opened up the playbook a little bit, opened up the offense, and Deshaun made some good plays. So, and I've been telling people, just like Bobby G, if Deshaun Watson gets anywhere near the level he was before all the drama, he's a top 5, top 10 quarterback. And with all that talent around him, if the defense is going to play like this, now again, it's Tennessee. No offense, Sam, but you know what I'm saying, like Nick says, they stink.
They do.
And they do. You know what I'm saying? But they did what they had to do. They handled their business. They beat them down convincingly. And this AFC North is going to be competitive, except for possibly the defending, AFC North champs, the Bengals, who, if they lose Joe Burrow for a few weeks, man, you could be talking about a team that's picking top 5, bro.
Yeah, they could be looking bad. It's not looking good in Cincinnati. The Bodkins KOD continues, so. There's that. Let's get into a team that's cursed, and that's the Jets. I mean, by all accounts, they wish probably they never drafted Zach Wilson. because by God, he stinks. 18 of 36 for 157 yards today. They lose to the Patriots, get their first win, 15-10. This game was just an absolute boring fest. Mac Jones, 15-29, 201 yards and 1 touchdown. Zeke Elliott, 16 carries for 80 yards. Ramondre, 19 carries for 59 yards. Just absolutely nothing in the passing game for either. Zach Wilson, like I said, he stinks. Breece Hall, 12 carries for 18 yards. Dalvin Cook, 8 for 18. Garrett Wilson, 5 for 48. My buddy Kenny messaged me. He said, how bad do you feel for Garrett Wilson? Like, you went into this season thinking you're about to get paid because, Aaron Rodgers is about to throw you the fucking football for 17 games. And now you're back to Zach Wilson and this garbage. Your thoughts?
Not only that, how you think Dalvin Cook feeling?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He signed with the Jets, thinking he playing with Aaron Rodgers, a chance to go for a Super Bowl title, and after 4 plays, it's just done. Yeah. Zach Wilson is not an NFL quarterback, bro. Plain and simple, bro. And I thought that maybe some time under Aaron Rodgers, not right now. I thought if Aaron Rodgers actually played the whole season, and maybe next season, if the kid had a couple years similar to Jordan Love, sitting behind Aaron Rodgers, because he's got some traits, but he can't see the field, bro. Like, there were guys open, and he can't make the play. They showed on the sideline Garrett Wilson was kind of getting frustrated with him, and the OC when they were going over a play where he was wide open over the middle. He has happy feet. I mean, that offensive line ain't very good either.
Yeah, the offense doesn't help. The O-line stinks.
Yeah, Breece Hall didn't do shit today. New England said, you are not going to run the ball. Go ahead, Zach Wilson, try to beat us. He kind of made it interesting with that last, that drive in the fourth quarter where they scored.
They had a Hail Mary that bounced off it, batted around. Man.
Yeah, Cobb almost made that play there. So, you know what I'm saying? They almost got a miracle there, but it's going to be a long season for my friends up north. So I feel for them, man.
I once had so much hope. You know what I mean? Like, and in 4 plays it went away.
Right. And the shitty part is that, you know what I'm saying, is that I wanted Aaron to play. I've said it here and on all the shows. I'm a big time Aaron Rodgers fan. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks ever. I was excited for the competition to see the Dolphins play the Jets with Aaron Rodgers and go up against, you know what I'm saying, I wanted this division to be tough. So it sucks, but for all you Jet fans that were talking so much shit about, a Super Bowl and all that stuff, it sucks that, that Aaron Rodgers got hurt, but at the same time, that this vaunted defense, you held New England to 15, but they're gonna slowly wear down, bro. There's no way this defense is gonna be able to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, just like last year. You know what I'm saying? So
you get frustrated. We saw Garrett Wilson, he got frustrated on the sidelines today. Like we're seeing that. He wants to win, he wants to play well. They want to win. They know they have a defense that can win, but
honestly, quarterback. In my opinion, it's their fault too, though. You know what I'm saying? They put all their stock in Aaron Rodgers, but one, you didn't make sure that you had a wall, a good offensive line in front of them. Yeah. And the other thing is that you should have gotten, especially now with the 3 quarterback rule, you could have gotten yourself a veteran backup quarterback that was a legit backup quarterback that can come in and win you some games. You left all your faith in Zach Wilson to be the backup for Aaron Rodgers, and now look, you know what I'm saying, you're having to deal with him. So I think they need to make a move and find somebody that may be familiar with this offense. I have no fucking clue, bro. I have no idea. I'm just trying to throw it up there because Zach Wilson playing, they may only win 1 or 2 more games, bro. They'll be picking top 5 as well.
And they might get their franchise quarterback that year and then have that guy sit under Aaron for a year or 2.
Yeah. So it may work out for them that way, but
that's the best way for them.
Yeah, it's going to be a long season for them, bro, for Jets fans, man.
It is. Let's get into maybe they trade for this guy, Gardner Minshew. The Colts get their 2nd win of the year in the Ravens' first loss in an overtime win by the Colts. it seemed like at one point in time nobody wanted to win this game. A rare missed game winner for their what's their kicker's name?
Justin
Tucker. Yeah, a rare miss, 60-yarder. Rare miss for Justin Tucker. He had a chance to win the game in regulation, missed the field goal. That never happens. Colts win in overtime. Minshew Mania. This is Teener's guy, 27-44, 227 yards and 1 touchdown. Zach Moss. We told people not to play Zach Moss. Maybe he should have played. Definitely should have played him over Kelly. 30 carries, 122 yards today for the Colts. Michael Pittman Jr., 9 receptions, 77 yards. 8 receptions for 57 yards for Josh Downs. So there's that. The Ravens, Lamar, 22 of 31, 202 yards. He had 14 carries, 101 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Not much else in the running game. Melvin Gordon, 10 for 32. Gus Edwards, 11 for 51. Zay Flowers, 8 for 48. And that was pretty much it for receiving-wise for the Ravens. Thoughts on Colts Ravens, Johnny, here in kind of the second, well, I would say the second most surprise of the day.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to the Colts there on a big win. You mentioned Gardner Minshew. He's probably somebody that the Jets probably should have signed this offseason as a backup. I mean, he was one that I thought that they can go after, or a Taylor Heineke, somebody like that. Even a Jacoby Brissett
shaking up here.
Well, I mean, he's Jimmy G.
Yeah, only a matter of time. Oh, Brian Hoyer's coming in, folks.
Oh God, he's still in the league. That's crazy. But no, shout out to the Colts. This was one that was part of my parlay. So I thought that they would cover. I didn't expect them to win outright. I wish I would have had the foresight to do that. It would have been a bigger one, bigger win for me. But I'll take it. It was exciting going back and forth. You know what I'm saying, for all the praise about the Ravens having all these wide receivers. You mentioned that 8 for 48 yards. You know what I'm saying, for Zay Flowers. I mean, that's you know what I'm saying. It was all dink and dunk. Lamar Jackson had to do it with his legs for the most part. But they had control of Indianapolis did what they had to do. It was surprising. Like I said, I thought they would keep it close. I didn't think they would win the game. But shout out to them for a big win for them. And not for nothing, whenever Baltimore could take it out, I'm happy with it because I'm not the biggest John Harbaugh fan. But you know what I'm saying, shout out to the Colts, man. Maybe they'll compete, especially with Jacksonville basically shit in the bed. The Colts may actually have an opportunity to compete, you know what I'm saying, in this division. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think the division's up for grabs. You saw Tennessee look like shit. Yeah. Jacksonville ain't great. And then Houston, you know what I'm saying? Houston won their one game.
Well, I think the Colts are winning that division at 2-1, right?
Yeah, they're in first place right now in the division. Yeah. They're the only one team with a winning record in that division. All 3 of the other ones are all 1-2. So
I mean, it's still early,
yeah,
but I mean, kudos to the Colts right now. A team that we all thought was going to stink.
Absolutely. I mean, I think, you know, I think we picked them to be one of the worst teams in the league this year, and they, you know what I'm saying, they've been competing, they've been playing hard, they play good defense, and they made, Gardner Minshew made the plays that he needed to make down the stretch there, and you know what I'm saying, he got them into position to win the game. Like you mentioned, Justin Tucker. I mean, we expect him to make every kick, but it was 60 yards, and it was right down the middle. It was just a little short. You know what I'm saying? So, but they had opportunities in overtime as well, and Lamar was missing wide open guys. So, you know what I'm saying? The Colts, the Colts did what they had to do, and they got it, close enough to kick their own field goal and win the game. But I was worried when it got tied. I was like, don't let Baltimore win by a touchdown, because I would have fucked up my bet or whatever. But you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying, the Colts wound up winning it outright. So shout out to them. You know what I'm saying? They lead the division right now. Again, it's early, it's only 3 games, but props to them, because I thought they were going to completely suck this season, man. And they're making plays. Pittman with a really big catch late in that game on that last drive to win to get the game winning field goal. So shout out. And this is without, you know what I'm saying, Jonathan Stewart. Too.
Maybe they don't need Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor, excuse me.
Zach Moss, 30 carries.
Yeah, and Buffalo basically just let him walk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, he's showing that if you actually gave him more than 5 carries, Ken Dorsey, he can actually do something. So, even though I like James Cook or whatever, but that would have been a nice 1-2 right there, Zach Moss with James Cook. But I'd rather him be in Indianapolis than Buffalo anyway, so I'm good with it. But
30 carries. I mean, you don't got to give him that many too many times, but that's a lot.
Right.
But, I mean, showed he could do something. Let's get into the next one. It's this game was a little closer. It was the Panthers Seahawks. Seahawks hold on to 37-27. I thought the Panthers looked better with Andy Dalton out there than they did when they had Bryce Young. Maybe it should be Andy all the time and let Bryce Young sit. Andy 30 of 58, 361 yards, 2 touchdowns. Miles Sanders only 9 carries for 24 yards. Me and Scott we talked about it this morning's show. We didn't know why everybody was high on Miles Sanders. Adam Thielen still getting it done. 11 receptions, 145 yards, 1 touchdown. DJ Chark 4 receptions, 86 yards and a touchdown. We get to the Seahawks here. Geno, pretty good. Geno Smith today, 23 of 36, 296 yards, 1 touchdown. Did have 1 interception. Kenneth Walker ran all over this team. 18 carries for 97 yards and 2 touchdowns. DK Metcalf, 6 for 112. He was supposed to be banged up, but by God, he wasn't banged up because he showed out today. Huge game for him. What was your thoughts here? To me, I thought the Panthers looked a lot better with Andy Dalton at the helm than they did with Bryce Young.
Yeah, absolutely, man. This was the last game that I had on my parlay. I mentioned it in the text thread. I was worried about this one. You know what I'm saying? Because Carolina did look good. I was worried about Andy Dalton with his experience. I knew this Carolina team was going to play hard. And early on, I was a little nervous. Geno with that awful pick. But Walker is a dude. He is a stud. You know what I'm saying? I love watching him run the ball. Charbonnet is a good compliment to him as well. So, the defense played well, especially towards the end of the game there. Andy Dalton, he's somebody the Jets could have signed to be a backup.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Andy Dalton right now, they win today's game.
Absolutely.
They may not have bit the Cowboys, but
right. But props for Carolina for picking him up, getting an experienced backup for the young. I think he should sit. I don't think he's ready to go. In my honest opinion. I think you give yourself a better chance to win games with Andy Dalton than Bryce Young, but we'll see what they wind up doing. But no, it was competitive for a while there, and then Seattle pulled away at the end. Seattle needed this win, at home against an inferior team. Seattle made the playoffs last year. There was a lot of hype for Seattle to hopefully, take a step up, from last season, and this was a game they needed to win, and they handled their business. Like I said, it was a little close there for a while, but they pulled away and a nice 10-point victory for them. And again, Flo just mentioned it. Bryce is already hurt. Saying they talked so much about Tua being small. Tua's 6 foot, but he's thick as hell. Bryce Young is like 5.
He a oos,
Right. He got that those Samoan genes, so he's thick. Bryce is small, bro. So you know what I'm saying? Again, I hope he gets healed up or whatever. But I think him sitting behind Andy Dalton will probably be a good thing for him in the long run.
Let's get into the next game. This team owns the Panthers' first round pick, and they might have picks 1 through 3 next year's draft, the way they're going, and that's the Chicago Bears. The Bears go in, they lose 10-41. Almost the Chiefs probably could have close to put up 70 if they really wanted to. They took out Mahomes late, pretty in the third quarter, I believe. This game, it was like, the Dolphins scored 70. Well, hold my beer. But with Taylor Swift in the stands, folks, Taylor T. Swift is in the stands, but. The Bears absolutely stink. Justin Fields couldn't even throw 100 yards today, 11 of 22, 99 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He did run for 11 carries, 47 yards. DJ Moore, 3 receptions for 4. The Bears offense, they're abysmal. I mean, I don't even want to fucking talk about them because they stink so fucking bad. They're precursor for who my turd of the week is, and I got a lot more we'll get more to go there when we get there. Patty Mahomes, 24, 33, 272 yards, 3 touchdowns. Did have a hurt ankle. Oh, Blaine Gabbert got in this game, and he did what Blaine Gabbert normally does, and that's throw interceptions, baby. 3 for 5 for 2 interceptions. So Isaiah Pacheco, 15 carries, 62 yards, 1 touchdown. Clyde Edwards, 15 carries, 55 yards, and a touchdown. Travis Kelce, 7 for 69 and a touchdown. Rasheed Rice, 5 for 59. Jerick McKinnon, 3 catches for 19 yards and 2 touchdowns. So, Johnny, any thoughts here other than that the Bears, to me, the worst team in the fucking league?
Yeah, I'm completely with you. We talked about it a lot in the pregame, you know what I'm saying, the pregame show this morning. Definitely check it out, the LTS morning show from this morning. Yeah, they're an embarrassment, bro. The organization is an embarrassment. The coaching staff, you know, I like Justin Fields, but I mean, he's obviously regressing this season compared to last season. You know, they went out and got him a nice wide receiver in DJ Moore. You thought that would help out. You know, they traded a second round pick for Chase Claypool, and he's MIA.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? They're just bad move after bad move. They didn't solidify the offensive line for this young kid. So it's I mean, he's going to want to get the hell up out of there as soon as he possibly can, Justin Fields, and I want him to get out of there as soon as he can.
They may want him out of there as soon as they possibly can.
Yeah, but that organization is just they're horrendous, bro. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's just an embarrassment. And like you said, you know, if Kansas City really wanted to, they could have put up at least a 50 burger on them. But you know what I'm saying, the Bears are just I don't you know what I'm saying, if you look at their schedule, I mean, it is the NFL, anything can happen, but they might only win a game or two.
Yeah, they got the Broncos next week, so
who
just got the fucking taste slapped out of their mouths this week.
Right.
You know, somebody got to win that game. So
yeah, but I'm glad the Chiefs took out Patrick. I know Tanner was like, "Oh no, he's fine. Leave him in there. He played worse in the Super." That was the Super Bowl, though, Tanner. This is week 3.
This is the fucking Chicago fucking Bears.
It's week 3, bro. You don't risk your franchise guy.
Put your bets aside. Put your shit aside.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully he's okay. You know what I'm saying? You mentioned Taylor Swift, so that was, you know what I'm saying, that was a cool little storyline there. With her in the box there with the Kelce family, cheering them on, and you know, Travis Kelce does what he does, man. That duo of him and Patrick Mahomes is ridiculous, man. The chemistry that they have. So you know, I didn't expect nothing less. I expected Kansas City to dominate, and they did.
Yeah. One game we expected. We had Paul, shout out Paul Redmond. We were pretty much talking like the Cowboys were going to walk through this game, walk through the next game. And they were going to face the 49ers and 2 undefeated teams. Well, then that's what we get for fucking thinking that the Cowboys are going to actually do what they're fucking supposed to, because they're the fucking Cowboys. They lose. They go down to Arizona and lose a bad game, 28-16. Dak Prescott, 25 of 40, only 249 yards, 1 touchdown, bad interception late in that game that kind of sealed it. Tony Pollard, 23 carries, 122 yards. Michael Gallup, 6 for 92. CD, 4 for 53. We get into the Cardinals here. Josh Dobbs, 17-21, 189 yards, only 1 touchdown. James Conner had himself a game, 14 carries, 98 yards, 1 touchdown. Rondale Moore, 3 receptions, 54 yards, and a rushing touch, or 3 carries for 54 yards and a touchdown. So he even got in the running game. He had 4 receptions too. Marquise Brown, 5 for 61. So your thoughts and pretty much shocker of the day, Arizona taking out the Cowboys.
Yeah, this one was definitely my number one shocker of the day. You mentioned, you know, the Baltimore Colts game as well. Yeah, the Baltimore against the Colts. Not the old school Baltimore Colts. The Baltimore versus the Indianapolis Colts game. That was a shocker game there, but this one was, and for all the talk about that vaunted Dallas defense, they dominated the 2 New York teams. They dominated Zach Wilson and Daniel Jones. And here goes Josh Dobbs, balling out. He had, he had 6 carries for 55 yards. I mean, Arizona came ready to play, and they put it on Dallas. Dallas tried to, make it interesting there towards the end, but they just, Arizona was just not trying to have it. So shout out to Arizona getting that big win at home. And we mentioned it. They're quote unquote tanking and wanting to lose. But they, if they only win one game, it was a nice, slap in the face that they put on Dallas there. So Dallas got themselves a nice piece of humble pie today. So we'll see if they take this loss seriously, and then maybe it straightens them out. Because we were talking this morning like they were going to be undefeated going into that San Francisco game, but so much for that shit.
Yeah. I mean, I want to Arizona, like their team plays fucking hard, man. They played hard against the Giants. They played hard. Like they're for what, you know what I mean? The talent level, they don't have a whole lot of fucking talent on that team. But by God, they play harder than the Bears do. They play harder than fucking Denver does. Like their coaches are getting those guys the best out of their players. And and that's, you can't say the same for some other teams.
Absolutely, man. They are playing hard. And not for nothing, but they're doing it. They're doing it well. As far as like their plan here, because they obviously are trying to get a very high draft pick so that they can get, I believe, their franchise quarterback. Because I don't see Kyler Murray playing for them again. So they got a nice trade piece in Connor. Saying at the trade deadline, a lot of teams could use a good running back. He always runs hard. More might be in their plans because he's still young. But I like Arizona's fight. Again, the players are never going to tank. So the players are always going to play hard. But they're out there and they're competing week in and week out. So props to them for not only competing, but they had a really good game plan. They did a really good job. Against Micah Parsons. So shout out to them. And don't start Dallas saying, oh, well, we only lost because Diggs tore his knee. Nah, bro. You know what I'm saying? You got beat because Arizona played better than you guys did in this game. That's bottom line.
They showed up to play. You didn't.
Right, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Dallas probably thought, oh, this is an easy win right here down in Arizona. And Arizona had, different idea for them, man. It was definitely my number one shocker of the day.
Yeah, let's I'm going to read the ad read and then we'll give out our turds and then our dogs of the week. All right.
Well, we missed the game.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, the Bills Commanders. I mean,
shit, I did miss that one.
It ain't worth really talking about.
No, there's nothing really.
Bills there's a turd nominee in that game as well, but we can go ahead and just skip that and do the ad read, and then we can give out our turds because then we can talk about the Commanders, not for nothing, if you want.
The turds and dogs of the week. Yeah, we'll get to the Bills 37-3. I skimmed over that game. Bills again, second week in a row. They look like the fucking wagon that they're supposed to. The Commanders, Sam Howell, 3 interceptions in this game. He's got to play better.
4.
They
had 4.
Oh, 4 interceptions,
4, including a pick 6.
Yeah, so there's that. I mean, this game was over. Man. Early, yeah. So there's that. So we no need to get into the rest of that game. So
I just want to be fair to the Bills and the Washington fans that might be watching.
It's on me.
It's all good. Not much to say except that Washington got their ass kicked, and Sam Howell is going to get a nice little gift from me in a few minutes.
Okay, so I'm going to read the ad read and we'll give out our turds and then our dogs. So when our community wins with us, we want to ensure you've maximized your return on investment. Line shopping for the best odds matters, and that is why any profitable sports bettor needs to be using multiple sports books. Thankfully, there has never been a better time to get signed up, and we're here to connect you with the best promotions industry-wide. Using our link, signupexpert.com/let's talk. You can get access to all the sports books in your region, along with a review of each platform and unique features. Most importantly, this page automatically connects you to the top promotions of each book, allowing you to start line shopping with an enhanced bankroll. If you want to take advantage of these benefits and support our brand, please consider signing up for your next sports book at signupexpert.com/let's talk. All right, Johnny, go ahead and give out your NFL Week 3 Turd of the Week.
It's going right back to Washington and Mr. Sam Howell, and you can share it with your head coach, Mr. Ron Rivera. They absolutely did not come to play at all. They got embarrassed at home. If it wasn't for that last, that field goal towards the end of the game, they would have got shut out at home. But Sam Howell, 19 of 29, 170 yards, 4 interceptions, including a pick 6. That was about as bad as it gets. Again, you can split the turd along with your head coach, but my turd of the week is Mr. Sam Howell. I expected more from the Commanders than that pitiful performance there, and it was led by Mr. Howell there. So yeah, he gets my turd of the week.
Yeah. God, what is that smell? What is that smell? It's coming all the way down from Chicago, all the way down to Missouri. It is the Chicago Bears. Not just, it's all of Chicago Bears, the whole freaking franchise. Let's review this last week, Johnny. Like I said on Sunday on the morning show, first you have Justin Fields saying, hey, I'm playing like a statue out there. It's not me, it's coaching. Then you got the DC coordinator, his house being raided by the FBI. Possibly reports of Hallis Hall being raided by the FBI. DC resigns. Then Justin Fields comes out and says, oh, it's not just coaching. I need to play better too, 3 hours later. So then after that, earlier this week, how do we expect the Bears to they couldn't stop Frank Gallagher from breaking in and stealing lawnmowers and side-by-sides. How are we supposed to expect them to stop the Kansas City fucking Chiefs? The Chiefs covered and then some. The Bears are my turd of the week. They're an abysmal organization. Right now, they're the laughingstock of the league. I would put the Bears below everybody and anybody lined up on a Sunday. The Bears stink from top to bottom, from McCaskey, who owns it, all the way down to the guy who is the equipment manager who can't lock the gate properly.
Very well said, man.
The Bears, your NFL Week 3 turd of the week.
Absolutely, and well deserved. Like you said, from top to bottom, from the owner to the maintenance guy who forgot to lock the door and got their stuff stolen. But yeah, they're an embarrassment. They definitely deserve that, man. Good choice there.
Who is your dog of the week here?
My dog, I got to go down to South Beach and give it to my boy Devon A-Chain. 18 carries, 203 yards, 2 touchdowns, 4 catches, 30 yards. And 2 more touchdowns. Devon A-Chain, his first game getting some real playing time with Savon Ahmed being out this week. And I think he showed why Mike McDaniel was super excited about getting him in the 3rd round. You team him up with Raheem Mostert. So he is definitely my dog. I could have picked a bunch of people from Miami, but 203 yards rushing.
You could have picked the whole Dolphins team, Mike McDaniel,
right.
Everybody.
But he had 4 touchdowns on his own. Again, 2 rushing, 2 receiving. So my dog is Devon A-Chain. Shout out to him, man.
My dog of the week. It goes to Jonathan Gannon, the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. We just talked about it. Nobody gave this team a fucking chance to win today. Everybody was writing them off all season. They were going to get Caleb Williams. They were going to win but maybe 2 games, if any games. And by God, the Cowboys, who looked like the best team in the league for 2 weeks when they're beating up on the Giants and Jets, come into Arizona, and he puts a stop to that. So I'm going to give it to their head coach, Jonathan Gannon, who had that team ready to play. His boys are prepared. Give it up for your Arizona Cardinals and Jonathan Gannon, the head coach, as your dog of the week. You could have gave it to James Conner, but I wanted to give it to the head coach because his boys are prepared to play, and they're playing fucking hard for that, man. So Jonathan Gannon and the Arizona Cardinals are my NFL 3 week dog of the week, baby.
Well deserved too. I'm with you on that one. They do play hard for him. I agree with Alan on this one. Honorable mention to your boy Jordan Love. You know what I'm saying, for bringing the team back there to win the game, but I could not put him over Devon A-Chain. Sorry, bro. Devon A-Chain had himself a career game there, so I had to give it to him. But I like your pick there with the Arizona coach because they do play hard for that dude, bro. You know what I'm saying? So
I knew you were going to go Miami, so that's the reason I wasn't going to touch the Miami game. I was going to bow that to you, with that being your squad and your team. I went to Arizona.
I mean, I try not to be a homer too, but come on, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? When you put up 70 points and like I said, he scored 4 touchdowns himself, 2 receiving, 2 rushing, over 200 yards rushing. He definitely deserves it. Man, it was definitely a fun day, bro.
Yeah, it was a great NFL Week 3. You got any final thoughts before we get out of here?
My final thoughts is, what I'm saying, again, any given Sunday, you never know what's going to happen. Shout out to Arizona, like you said, with a big win. Houston, D'Amico Ryans getting his first win on the road in Jacksonville. Jacksonville, what the hell are you guys doing?
CJ Stroud too. CJ
Stroud absolutely. There was definitely nominees for that. So we had a bunch of blowouts, and then we had a couple of close games. So it was a fun day of football, especially for my Dolphins and Dolphin fans everywhere. Smile, enjoy it. We got an interesting game going on tonight. I will be back right after this game here with my boy Rob Logan and see how he feels about his Chargers winning and Staley keeping his job for a little bit longer.
Yeah,
that's another good one.
Hey, Deshaun. Yeah, we said he had his best game in a Cleveland Brown uniform. So
absolutely,
there was that. This has been another great episode of the Bodkin Show, folks. We'll be back tomorrow night, 8:00 Central, 9 Eastern, for the LTS show. I'll be coming a little later, probably about 9 o'clock, actually. So the guys will be holding down the fort until I get in. Talk a little shit to our guy Jonathan Grisham. You know me, so it'll be great to talk all that shit. He sent a gift to me of at halftime of that Michael Jordan gif of him of Michael Jordan looking at the tablet and laughing. Of course, I sent him a gift back after the game, and it said, "You almost had me in the first half," but he who laughs last lasts the longest, my friends. Yeah, so I can't wait to pound it to Jonathan Grisham tomorrow night. After that collapse of the Saints and the comeback of the Packers. So, I mean, literally that first half of the day was shitty. I was probably going to be in a bad mood the rest of the day, the way the Packers were playing, the way my fantasy team was going. I was like, God damn it. But your boy Tua saved my fantasy game. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, imagine if you would have started A-Chain.
If I would have started him, there's no stress. I would have demolished everybody.
Absolutely, man.
But nonetheless, it's been another great episode, folks. Be a friend, tell a friend. Like, subscribe, share, join our Discord. Make sure you sign up for signupexpert.com/let's talk if you're into gambling or fantasy. So get you some good deals there. All right, I'm going to hit that outro. We'll see you tomorrow night, folks.
Yep.
Oh, shit, I hit the wrong button. There it is. Boswell nailed it.